Hey there guys, John Campea here. Thank you for visiting my movie vlog. And you know, the ride for the DCEU up to this point has been a little bit of a roller coaster ride. Films like Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and Suicide Squad. While Suicide Squad did overperform, the DCEU as a whole has been a bit divisive. You know, critics couldn't get on board with it. You couldn't get wide approval from all the fans, even though I liked all the films myself personally. And then along came Wonder Woman that seemed to be getting the ship steered in the right direction. All of that now is leading us up to November 17th with the opening of the film we've all been waiting for, Justice League. The expectations for Justice League have also themselves been a little bit of a roller coaster ride, with some people being pessimistic for a while, then Wonder Woman coming along and giving some people hope. Personally, I think Justice League is going to work as a film, and I've got 5 reasons why I believe so. Reason number 1 is Joss Whedon. Now, it's not really just Joss Whedon on his own. It's the fact that Joss Whedon is coming in and building upon the foundation for Justice League that was laid by Zack Snyder. Now, whatever you think of Zack Snyder, love him or hate him, you'd be hard-pressed to deny that Zack Snyder has some very special gifts when it comes to being a director. First of all, he's great at action pieces. Number 2, he's great at visual storytelling. Number 3, he's great at big epic set pieces as well. Not just action, but overall set pieces. And he's also really good at creating big dramatic moments in his film. Now remember, the principal photography of Justice League was done before Zack Snyder tragically had to step away from the film. But those are the elements that he brought to it. Those are the foundation of the movie. Now, to build on top of that, you get in a director like Joss Whedon. Again, whatever you think about Joss Whedon, love him or hate him, he brings another certain set of skills. And you also can't deny that he's the mastermind behind what is, without question, beyond dispute, the most successful comic book film of all time in the first Avengers film. And Joss Whedon brings in a new set of gifts. He brings in incredible dialogue. He brings in great character development. He brings in a laser focus of his storytelling narrative. He brings all these things to build upon that stuff that Zack Snyder already started with. Reason number 2 I believe Justice League is going to work: Batman. And not just the character Batman, but the dude who's playing him, Ben Affleck. Batman by himself, he's just the coolest comic book character of all time. He just is. And as far as Ben Affleck goes, he is, in my opinion, the single greatest Batman we've ever had on screen. I believe he brings the best representation of the true comic book Batman that we've ever had. I'm not saying he's a better actor than Christian Bale or Michael Keaton or anything like that, but I just believe that the Batman that he has given us is the most comic book accurate one we've ever had as far as his personality, his tone, his outlook, just the way, the presence that he emits. I think Ben Affleck crushes that. Now, we can still sit here and question and talk about, well, how much longer is Ben Affleck going to be Batman? Is he going to be Batman for the first standalone Batman movie? Is he going to be Batman after the first standalone Batman? That's kind of irrelevant right now. Fact of the matter is, he is Batman in the upcoming Justice League. The coolest comic book character ever, played by the guy who I think has given us the best representation of that character ever. That, again, is a winning formula. Reason number 3 I think Justice League is going to work is a broader picture issue. I believe Warner Brothers has developed a brand new plan and a brand new strategy for their DCEU. Look, there have been a lot of stories, and everybody knows that after kind of stumbling out of the block a little bit as far as the fan reaction and critic reaction to the DCEU, Warner Brothers took a step back. They described it as taking a breath. They took a step back, reevaluated, and kind of took an appraisal of where they were at and where they wanted to go. Now, to use a sports analogy here, the teams that go on to win championships in sports aren't necessarily the teams that go into the game with the best game plan to start. The championship teams are the ones that go into halftime and make the adjustments and then come out adjusted for the second half of the game. Those are the teams that can do that well. Those are the teams that win championships. 4th reason I believe in Justice League is because they're going to build on the success of Wonder Woman. Now, love or hate the original DCEU films, I'm somebody who likes the original DCEU films. One of the criticisms I've heard, and I agree with, is that sometimes in the first 3, say, DCEU films, the narrative lacked focus. Sometimes the movie seemed to be going off in different directions and didn't have a clear path for its narrative. However, Wonder Woman did, under the direction of Patty Jenkins. The one thing that was really great about the Wonder Woman movie was it had a laser focus in its narrative. You always knew the plot and what the path the character was walking. And when as an audience you understand the path that the character and the heroes are walking, you can walk along with them. I believe, especially with Joss Whedon on board now, I believe Justice League, even though they have more characters, I believe they're going to have a much more focused narrative that'll be able to bring the audience along on a much better clip than, say, Batman vs. Superman did, or even Man of Steel. As much as I love Man of Steel, I believe we're going to see that is going to be an area of big improvement for the DCEU in Justice League, and another reason why I think the movie's going to work. And the fifth reason I believe Justice League is going to work is the cast. And I'm not even talking about the cast of the big three main characters already. I'm talking about the new cast coming into this world. It's Jason Momoa. It's Ezra Miller. It's Willem Dafoe. It's Ray Fisher. It's Amber Heard. It's J.K. Simmons. Besides the big three characters of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, you have loaded this film with talent for their other characters as well. So there you have it, guys. The 5 main reasons I believe Justice League is going to work. Reason number 1, Joss Whedon building on the foundation laid by Zack Snyder. Number 2, Batman, the coolest comic book character ever, being played by the guy who's given us the best version of that character ever. Number 3, Warner Brothers is a company that has the foresight to take a step back, reevaluate their game plan, and move forward. Number 4, building on the success of Wonder Woman, their most successful film so far. And number 5, the cast, not just the main cast, but all the newest pieces that they've added in. I think altogether this makes for a word I've used before in this video, a recipe of success. Will Justice League be great? Well, we won't know for sure until we see the movie. Audiences and critics get a chance to lay their eyes on it. But I think if you're a fan of the DCEU or a fan of comic book movies in general, I think there's a lot to be optimistic about. Anyway, the important thing here is, what do you think? What are your expectations for Justice League? Have you been negative on the DCU film so far? But what do you think about all these things that I just talked about right now? Do you have some optimism for Justice League? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. While you're here, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you're following me on social media, on Facebook and on Twitter, simply at John Campea. That'll do it for me for now, guys. Thanks a lot for joining me, and until next time, bye-bye.